Hi, I'm Sandy Ulrich, 714 Campbell Road, Baltimore, Pennsylvania. I've listened to various meetings where everyone has torn down this board of supervisors, so I decided to write a letter. First of all, I was asked to be on the planning commission because I attended numerous meetings seeking an agricultural protection plan. My first acquaintance with Mr. Capola and Mr. Smith was without charge. Mr. Smith bought back thousands from the township for overcharged building permits. $700 for a building permit. When I got my second building, it's $50. How many of you were affected by that? And how many would be enthralled to find out that you only had to pay $50 when you don't even have a permit for your building? Mr. Capola is a very quiet, very private person, but he does not take a salary also for being a supervisor. When requested by residents who wanted safeguards for their properties, then he retains our solicitor and engineers. Before I would get upset at meetings, I'd have to go home, calm down for 2 or 3 days, eat peanut butter sandwiches. But now, I can tell you, I stay calm because it's black and white in this township. And it's also, Mr. Grossman helped us with all our comprehensive plan and ordinances. All the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed. Now, it costs to the township also, because guess what? You missed that meeting too, where Mr. Capola got a grant for nothing for this township. If you wanted your gas wells everywhere, why weren't you at those meetings? They were open to the public. Not one of you that have leases here were at those meetings. Goal, it was to keep the rural character of our township. The anchored leaseholders, they want wells in residential agriculture areas. Well, this is not an industrial area where you want it. The anchored leaseholders also, during many hearings, our representatives, they're very steadfast because they have the facts to support themselves. Our representatives achieve the necessary conditions, and big companies are upset because we have control of these situations now. Oh well, it's about time after all these years. The events that have happened are why we want to protect our residents. The Hallowich Range Agreement. And so many of you haven't attended the meetings and everything, you may have this to pass around. Here's the agreement. The same day the agreement was in the paper, and a lot of you don't read the public notices. There's a public notice that the site where the compressor station was, where they said numerous times, we had nothing to do with this. The ground is contaminated with methane. So how much was wrong? Right there in public notice. The other one is about Chevron. Okay? And Chevron did not report this. The township had to report this. Then to fly over and show the site, show the spill. And if you look at the site, if you look at this is May 17th when the notice was here. When mine pass this around so you can have some reading with her. And they reported that it was a minor incident. Guess what? Very major. If you listen to them tonight to tell you how many tons were taken up, minor. And then there's Tizone. Fines numerous, thousands of dollars. Would you like to meet those trucks on the road? What if you had an accident on the road? You lost one of your family members. Would you be very happy? Lots of money for that, didn't you? There were also the spills. They came to a meeting. Some of those people were your friends. Came to the meeting, we'll cooperate with you. We'll do anything you want. They have never, to this day, came back to this board and told them what was in the spill. It's important to a lot of people. There was water contamination. A man brought in a letter. The homes were shaking. Would you like to have your home shake? All right, and then also, there were various landslides that they just mentioned tonight. That ground was there for how many years? All of a sudden now we have landslide, we have contamination, and we also have the houses shaking. The next concern is the Beach Hollow power plant. There was fly ash. And they had it, the attorney called one time and asked, why would you be concerned about fly ash? Because the fly ash is going to come into my field. If I have hay that I'm selling to high-priced horse farmers, and one of those horses die, who's going to be paying that bill? I'm responsible for that. That's why I didn't want that flower plant to go in. And the fly ash was going to be put over hundreds of acres. As the planning commission, we went to that fly ash. And we stood on there. There's glass particles in there. And there's 2 residents on Robinson Township Road that have health problems. Would you want your child to have glass particles in their lungs and maybe possibly die? Would that make you feel good? Well, we went up there and we stood there and we brought samples back. Our supervisors, the planning commission said to them, we do not approve this. They approved it. And do you know what even better than that? As we went further along, we found out that that agreement, after they went up and did that speech up there at the auditorium and made it look like they signed that agreement, it was signed illegally before that meeting. That's the kind of representing you have. You won't find that in this board.
It wasn't us.
I know. That's it. Did you listen to me? All right. And then also the gas line explosion, as you mentioned. Someone had mentioned here. Mr. Gallagher that night wouldn't answer any questions. It was so coincidental that the next day that gas explosion happened. Would you want to lose your home, all your possessions you've worked all these years for, to a gas line explosion? Why? You got a few $1,000s? Also, the Emerald Township, they did water tests. Range, saying, oh, we did the most complete test. Trust me, Mr. and Mrs. Smith would not go to that and represent those people if they didn't have all their ducks in a row. They know what they're doing. The other thing is the legacy of Mr. Coppola, Mr. Smith, Mrs. Berry will be to me that they did their best for the residents without expecting any rewards. The legacy, Mr. Campbell, Mr. Foley, Mr. Durant. I was here before you. You do what I say and you'll be a good neighbor. And also, listen to people from Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, rather than these trusted representatives that are up here in front of us. And as I was at a college speech one time, this professor got up at the ceremony and he said, it's not all about you. And it isn't all about you leaseholders. It's about everyone in the township. And if that's what they want to do, that's fine. Everyone that signed gas leases on my road, I have them all over, both sides of them. Talk to me. I talked to those people for 2 years. All of a sudden, letters to the editors. It got scarce in my house. Didn't know anybody. My neighbor came to me tonight, talked to me the first time. Why would you talk to me now? And then they had misleading information. They said, oh, we invited you to the meeting. I have a message machine on my phone. I didn't invite you to any meeting. Why lie to me like that? I respected your choice, then where's my respect? Did not ever say anything once to any of these leaseholders. But you can come here and you can go to this meeting or you can go anywhere to your private meetings and you can sit there and make all these false statements. And as I tell my children, you have to know that I know a lot more people than you think I do. And I've heard various comments. And that's another thing that bothers me. Also, Mr. Campbell, did you tell all your friends at the meeting that you came over to my house after I left for church and you tried to persuade my son about all the benefits? To your surprise, what did he say to you? Guess what? He had the same opinion as I did. I ever go to your house?
Okay, let's not get too...
I know, but did I ever go to any of these leaseholders'
In
houses?
general, what you're talking
Okay.
about.
And I also would like to end with a statement, since everything was mentioned about let's all work together as God's children. If you read Matthew 7, 24 through 27, storms will come. I will stand strong. And the other thing I would like to say is, to everyone in this area here, you can take and drill your wells. Why can't range go up Camel's Road? Why can't range go down Camel Road? No, they want everything. They don't have everything. They're not going to be satisfied. I could care less. And that pipeline, it got moved because I would not give them the front part. And that's fine. Go down over the hill. But don't let range sit there and you people think that you're going to have your own way. I still own my farm. I'm not going to sign a lease. And if you can't respect me, there's a good China. You're not in the United States if you can't respect your neighbor. Remember, go home and look up that first one. Matthew 7:24-27. Thank you.
I'd just like to remind people